Hello, beautiful beings. Love and laughter. Tanya Rainforest here. Thank you so much for showing up to receive the message. This video is for people that are on the self-healing path who might be feeling frustrated with how they're manifesting and how it's moving forward. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed. Maybe you're feeling like you're not getting any traction. Maybe you feel like things are off and you're not quite getting the momentum or going in the direction that you want to go, and you're getting frustrated. I hear you. I feel you. So I want to start with this quote by Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he says, the only way to control the future is to create it. And that's really what this video is about, this idea of controlling your future. Well, what does that even mean? It doesn't literally mean controlling it. It means to create it through what you want. Decide what you want with your life. Deciding what you want with your life and connecting the dots with the details and the ideas of where you want to go, what's important to you, is what this is about. Because a lot of us have spent a lot of time trying to control and manipulate and move through to manifest our dreams and goals and desires, thinking that's the way to do it, but it's not. It's energetically connecting and knowing what we want. Because when we're pushing and pulling, controlling, and trying to make things happen, we are putting our energy forth in a direction, but we're not necessarily completely clear on what we want. And sometimes we need to get pretty clear and specific on what we want. And just when you think you're clear and specific on what you want, you probably could get clearer and more specific on specific for what you want. Now, when I first started doing this myself, I was like, oh yeah, I know what I want. This is easy. But when you need to come down to layer upon layer of the details, that's when things can get like, well, you're like, well, what do I want? There's so many details, there's so many pieces to it. It can be overwhelming, and you can just result back to that controlling part. You're like, I'll just go back to pushing and pulling and doing what I know, and then just burn myself out and wonder why I'm not getting the results I want. So this is why I have made journaling like one of the number one tools to ground what I want into my reality to move me forward. Because it allows me to open up that creative flow of what I want and to get into the details of it. Or at least allows me to write on it, and then other details start to come into my life. I have experiences out in the world, or I connect with some energy, or I get these ideas and I'm like, yes, that's what I want. Or I watch somebody else's video and I'm like, whatever she's drinking, I need some of that in my cup. So it's a process of cultivation, really, to create your own life instead of focusing your energy on the controlling part of it. So again, you're going to need some kind of practice that's going to help cultivate what you want on a daily basis. I highly recommend it because you want to get into that energy of the details of what you want over and over again. Because then you're seating yourself in a place of creation instead of just bowl in a china cabinet, just this is what I want. I'm going towards that. I want a coffee. Okay, what brand do you want? What do you want it to taste like? What flavor do you want? Do you want to drive to get it? Do you want it delivered to you? What kind of cup do you want it in? Do you want it cold or hot? See what I mean? There's so many details of things that it can get overwhelming. But when we write it down in a journal and spend some time playing with the ideas, it unravels for you. It gets yourself grounded in cultivating the details and the energy of what you want to create. I have an email list full of lots of spiritual people on their path. They have their business businesses. And so I get emails from those people of what they're offering, what they're experiencing in their life, what kind of programs they have. And I use my email list of these people that I follow that are encompass energies that I want and are doing the work that I want. I use what they have already discovered to help me unfold and discover what I want more on a deeper level. Like the other day, all the time, so many times when I'm out of fresh inspiration for a video or where I need to move in my life, or if I'm stuck somewhere, I will go to my email list and look at the titles and see what sparks an interest, and I will read the email, and oftentimes there's energy in their content and words that will help spark something in me, and I will journal it out. I will ask questions in my journal about it. I'm like, well, this idea is interesting. Tell me more about this. Or Great Spirit, connect with me here. Or show me what to do. Or I really like this aspect. What about this, and this? And so it keeps this idea of creation alive in my mind. The journal activates it throughout my life in other areas. So I'm focusing my energy on what I want to create and the details of wanting to create it versus trying to control it in other ways. And it also keeps the creativity percolating always. Because as you write these questions and affirm in the notebook, you're getting in that energy of creation itself. And you're playing in the creative void. You're like, well, okay, so I want this coffee. Well, what more about that do I want? Do I want to experiment with flavors or, different kinds of cups? Or do I want to search for a company that's eco-friendly? It opens you up to really discover important things about yourself and to affirm what you already know is true for you. And it opens doors in different avenues for you to explore and to create and play in. So that is why I bring us back to the quote from Dr. Joe Dispenza that he says, the only way, or you can't control the future, but you can create it. Or I'm probably butchering it, but the idea is we don't control the future, or the only way to control the future is to create it. There you go. I am not the highest form of quotation doing, but the idea is there. Anyways, thank you so much for showing up to receive the message. Until the next video, lots of love and laughter.